Hello, welcome to Miracle Mom and Michael. This is Mom. Say hi, Mom.
Hello, hello, hello.
We started this channel because Mom had a miracle happen in her life, and if the miracle hadn't happened, she wouldn't be here. You wouldn't hear her voice. I wouldn't be hearing her voice, and I felt let's document it. Let's let's talk to Mom. We're in a coronavirus shutdown right now, and I can't go visit her. She's in Minnesota. I'm here in Los Angeles. I'm out of a job because of this shutdown, and she's been a shut in already for years, so she's hardly been affected. But what better time than now than to talk to Mom about her life and things that have happened, and something miraculous happened just this past December, December 2019, and I'll leave it to you, Mom, to get this started. I'll chime in here to to ask you questions. But you had a genuine miracle happen in your life that's documented. Why don't you tell me what happened?
Okay.
What happened on December 9th, 2019?
Well, on December 9th, 2019, I was just got up that morning and was going about my morning routines, sitting quietly at my desk and watching TV, and I was on my computer, and all of a sudden I had taken a sip of coffee, but I started coughing and choking because some of it went down the wrong pipe. Anyway, I ran into the bathroom, spit this coffee out, and all of a sudden, during that coughing episode, I had incredible pain in my chest, and I couldn't breathe. Even after I had cleared my airway, I was not getting enough air. This was extremely different and alarming to me because I'd never had any symptoms like that before.
So you were trying to inhale and you were just not getting air.
Right. I was getting air, but it didn't feel adequate enough. In other words, when you sigh and you go to take a deep breath, and then that satisfies
Yeah, you can
whatever you were
fill your
feeling.
lungs.
Yeah, right. Well, it wasn't satisfying the air that I needed. Anyway, and the pain was getting worse. And my heart was just beating out of my chest. I could see my chest actually moving, but the pain was obviously not normal. So fortunately, my younger daughter lives with me, and I got her attention right away, and she came to see what was happening. And then, one thing after another, I knew at that time that I needed medical help right away, being a registered nurse. And I had been in recently, good health for my age.
And you've been a
I never,
nurse your whole life, and so you kind of
right.
have a unique or an expert take on what's going on with you physiologically, right?
Oh, sure. I was in nursing for 41 years, and I knew, shortness of breath and this kind of chest pain. No,
This is
this isn't.
this is bad.
This, this is bad. So you need to get attention right away. So anyway, my daughter activated the emergency services, and they came right away. And I'm still struggling. I'm just collapsed in my chair.
So an ambulance showed up,
Yeah, an
EMTs.
ambulance showed up just within minutes. This community is not a huge community. This area we live in is emergency services are close by. They don't have to come far.
And the whole
Anyway,
time you're having chest pains and struggling for breath.
oh yeah, yeah. And you get tunnel vision.
Mm.
You get tunnel vision. I'm just totally focused on getting air and this pain going away. And obviously I'm thinking my heart, this is my heart. And the crew showed up and I'm in tunnel vision. I'm just, collapsed in the chair, letting them do everything they're doing, which they did. There were 5 or 6 people. Even the police showed up. I just remember that.
Wow.
I think when an ambulance goes to a scene, the police automatically are ordered to go. Anyway, so they tended to me, and got me into the ambulance and continued with all of their procedures. And I'm still in tunnel vision. All I want to do is breathe. I just want to breathe and I want this pain to go away. So the hospital that's near us is only 4 miles away.
So this is
Um,
where, at this time, I get a call from my brother, from Phil. We can mention names here, I guess. Phil and
sure.
uh, so he says mom's in an ambulance on the way to the hospital. Yeah, and that's all I know. It was a short conversation, and so in my mind, uh, I may have spoken with my mother for the last time. I didn't know anything. He didn't know anything. All he knew was that you were on the way to the hospital in an ambulance.
Yeah, that's all they knew. My poor daughter, my daughter who's at home, she doesn't even know what's happening either. I'm sure she was terrified.
And so they take you into the ER.
So we get to the emergency room. They took me in right away, and this they obviously knew this is a cardiac event just by what the ambulance crew was telling them. Oh, that cat. So anyway, I'm in the emergency room, and right away they're giving me the oxygen, starting the IV. ER doctor comes in and starts ordering certain testing, and they attached telemetry, which those electrodes that they put on your chest so they can look at my heart activity on the monitor, and drew some blood, and there wasn't much.
That is a noisy cat in the background. It's okay though.
That is a noisy cat, and that cat is not getting the attention she wants. It's just like kids. When you're on the phone, they all want to talk to you when you're on the phone.
Right.
But anyway, okay, I'm in the ER. They're doing certain testing, and at that point in time, in the emergency room, my blood pressure was stable. My heart rate was elevated. It was fast, and they did give me some pain medication, which helped right away. That was a relief. And they had me on oxygen, which also helped. So then it was a matter of waiting, for test results to come back. The ER doctor did come in. He said, well, we've got some of your blood work back, and we're showing that you do have damage to your heart muscle. He said, which constitutes a heart attack to some degree. And then he said, we're going to send you to CAT scan to do a CAT scan of your lungs.
Is that normal, or is that unusual?
I don't really know if they automatically. I think it was because of the breathing, the difficulty with breathing that I was having,
Right.
that prompted him to order a CAT scan of the lungs. But he had evidence in his hand, that I had had a heart attack. So he went and did the CAT scan of the lungs, and then still we're waiting for that report to come back, and I am a little more comfortable. And the thing about it, when I look back on it, I wasn't in a panic. I wasn't terrified. I wasn't, out of my mind with fear. And I realized, part of that has to do with the fact that you worked in the health profession for 41 years. So that environment is comfortable to me.
Right. It's familiar, and
It's familiar.
feel like
I've worked in it.
you're in good
I
hands.
understand. Yeah, I understand everything they're doing. And so it did help me stay calm, I'm sure. Anyway, finally, he came back in. And when he came back in, body language is extremely interesting.
Hmm.
And when he came through that door, his shoulders, he sort of, looked a little dumpy. I mean, he was a young guy. And he looked, his affect was, this is not going to be good news when I saw him.
Hmm.
He sat down, next to the gurney, and he said to me, well, he said, I looked at your CAT scan results, and you have blood clots all over both of your lungs, not just one lung. He said, your lungs are full of blood clots.
So, in addition to a heart attack, you have blood clots. Your lungs are full of blood.
blood clots. Blood had clotted. Get?
Now what's that called?
Those are called emboli, emboli, plural, emboli, embolus. An embolus is a blood clot.
An embolus is a clot, and then a pulmonary embolism is a single blood clot.
Yeah, well, they use that term. Um, it just individually depends on each case, you know.
So you had pulmonary emboli.
Right, in both lungs.
I'm going to show. I'm going to find that picture that
Oh,
you sent
okay.
me. Continue.
Well, and when he said that, I realized I was also having pain in the right upper part of my chest. Besides my heart, besides the pain in my heart, I was having a lot of pain in my right upper chest, which was probably already an indication to him that lung scan needed to be done.
Gotcha.
So that answered that question. When he told me there were blood clots, I realized, wow, that's why I'm having pain in my chest on the right upper side.
And not able to breathe.
And then he let me know that he had alerted the cardiac team, and they were on their way. Cardiologist and his team was on the way to come and talk to me.
Talk to you.
Yes. Explain things to me.
Explain the dire circumstances, right?
Yes. Let me know. What does this mean, and what do we need to do, and when are we going to do it? Information.
Mm-hmm.
So it was shortly, after that, he left the room, and then the cardiologist showed up, and he did have an entourage. There were about four people with him. He didn't introduce them other than, these are my handlers. He said it jokingly. I'm Dr. So-and-so, and these are my handlers, and they all laughed. and then the humor died down. He looked at me, and he said, well, you have a very serious situation here. Your CAT scan is showing you have you have clots throughout your lungs. And this is a situation where we need to take invasive procedure to remove them. And that's pretty much what he said. And then he said, we're going to admit you to the intensive care unit. Right now your blood pressure is stable. He said, you also have, how did he put it? He said, you have damage to your right heart. And I said, well, what does that mean? What do you mean the right heart? He said, well, your right ventricle, that ventricle is damaged, and that ventricle is it's the thinner part of the heart muscle. And he didn't go into a whole lot of detail at that point. He just said that's not good. We need to monitor that.
Did he say notify your next of kin?
No, not at that point. He didn't say that. He just pointed out they started a heparin drip also once they got the results of the CAT scan. They started a heparin drip, and heparin is the drug that it prevents your blood from forming clots, but it doesn't. People think heparin dissolves clots. That's not how that drug works at all. It just prevents clots from being formed once they knew what the problem was. They didn't want more, being created, obviously.
You're getting a little inside baseball here, Mom.
What's that mean?
It means if I were a professional athlete, I would know the details of all the statistics of baseball. That's just an expression. But being a nurse, you know all this stuff, and you're telling us details
Oh, okay.
that you
Stan,
understand.
yeah. Um, so they admitted me to the ICU and monitored me, and he informed me, came by later and said, "We're not going to send you for this procedure right now." He said, we're going to watch and be sure that you're stable. If anything changes and we find we need to go right away, we will. But he said, I've scheduled the procedure for tomorrow morning. So I ended up staying, through the night.
So when this happens, pulmonary emboli, uh, what's the survival rate?
Well, it depends. It depends on a lot of things. Um, how massive is it? Is it one or two clots? Or is it massive? In my case, it was pretty massive. And I really don't know, what the statistics are. It just depends on what they see, what they know, and whether this person's going to survive or not. There are people all the time who you heard the expression, they threw an emboli. Well, if that blood clot was large enough, it could just be that one blood clot that killed him.
Oh, right.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
You can still have, multiple emboli, and they can be small, tiny clots.
I'm
And
going to
that's when
show.
you end.
I'm going to show the picture of what was in your lungs. Here it is. So I'm going to put this up to the camera. And this is just one of your lungs. This is after they had performed this procedure, right?
The right lung.
So I'm just going to count them right here, all of them. There's small ones and there's large ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 13 in this picture, maybe more. Let's see. Yeah, 13 or 14 blood clots in this picture just from the right lung. And the one in the middle is gargantuan. And at the time, you had told me, I don't have a point of reference here, but it's like 6 inches long. That huge blood clot there is the one that he said, I didn't think I was going to get that out. Now, when he showed you this picture, what did he say?
You still there?
I'm here. When he showed you that picture, what did he say?
Well, he came in the next day after the procedure, and he sat down and he looked at me, and he took out his cell phone. He showed me that picture, and he looked at me and he said, well, this is what I took out of a dead woman. And I thought, what are you talking about? Why would you show me a picture like that and say that to me? I almost said it out loud, but I'm just thinking this in my mind. And then he saw the look on my face that I was puzzled. And he said, that dead woman is you.
So you didn't know that was a picture of your blood clots.
No, at first I didn't. I didn't think he was tricking me. I thought he was, this is a teaching moment here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize at that moment that he was talking about me. And then when he said that, I just burst out crying, and sobbing at the realization. And
so medical miracles happen. I was going to say all the time, but not all the time. But we have advancements in technology that save people's lives. That if this technology hadn't existed, the person would be dead. And so, what is this a case? Is this similar? Is this a medical miracle?
Well, to me it is. There are a whole lot of other facts that I learned after the fact There's just no doubt about it.
right? Well, here's what you told me that week, that there was a machine that only 9 hospitals on in the
Not a machine, an instrument.
okay, an instrument, an invention, a device
Right.
that had been invented and was being tested in 9 hospitals around the country. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And that it had only been in use via a government grant for 2 months prior.
Correct.
In other words, you were in the right place at the right time to have the only instrument that could have saved your life.
Yes,
That's a miracle.
that's true.
And I wouldn't be talking to you right now if that instrument hadn't been there, right?
That's right.
And so you're living on borrowed time. Are you there?
Yes, I am. I'm still alive, living on borrowed time.
All right. Well, thank you, Mom. I'm gonna wrap it up here.
Okay.
Any final words you want to say?
Just that I love my son,
And that
Miracle Mom and Michael.
and that death has no hold over you.
Not anymore.
I just held up the skull. All right. Love you,
Oh,
Mom.
I love you too.
We'll go out on this scene. This is the skull coming into the camera. And cut. Love you.
Love you too. Goodbye.
Bye.